So I had part 3 queued up, but I have to insert another sidebar here. Here are some of the tweets and posts that Allison and Jessica and Jeff did. I'm not going to go dig up old emails, but Leader Sykes was doing her advocacy for us through different channels, like a leader should. Let's go to the binder. Hell yes, I have a binder. I was told to document. Taylor Jack works for JD Vance now. Jessica Miranda said her aide was ordered home for 14 days on Tuesday. 14 days after being told contact tracing determined he'd been in contact with someone. But then he got a follow-up call saying he had been mixed up with someone else with the same first name. Secret nature, ticking time bomb. That's right, Mimi. They did their mask picture stunt. Here it is, Jessica's Twitter war with Larry Householder. Oh, he was so thin-skinned. My aide was sent home abruptly. He was not the person out with the staff member on the 13th floor. This is my favorite. Mr. Speaker, someone is lying here, and it's not my office. Russo enters the chat. Our staff work their butts off. To have them treated in such a careless way and as pawns in a sick political game is disgusting. They deserve better. You said it, sister. And there's Jeff Crossman taking it to him. So great. And Jeff knows what I'm talking about because his aide got fired. And then Jeff chatted with Larry and soothed his ego and got her unfired. So awesome. So they did these posts, they're freshmen. Your job is to go crazy on your opponent. You're the new kid. You've got fresh energy. The longer serving members, the leadership, they'll perform their roles. They'll look out for you. They'll clean things up for you if that's needed. They've developed relationships. Maybe they've got some back channels that they'll work to get things done. And that's what Allison didn't understand about becoming leader. Like, it's not just a pay raise and a bigger office and a slightly bigger stage. Like, you took on the duty. You became leader. You took on more risk, more exposure, more caretaking in exchange for a little more glory. You took on looking out for the women working at the Democratic caucus. So say it with me. That's what the money's for. And as my partner recently said to me, if you're telling your daughter about safe places to work, wouldn't you think the Democratic caucus would be a pretty good one? I would. I wish it was. Part of the job is managing this Democratic caucus organization. It's not just giving speeches and getting applause and attention. And it is that. And that's important, no doubt about it, getting the message out there. But what Allison did not understand that set her apart from every other leader that I worked for, she did not understand there's a price for that attention. And someone is paying that price. Either you, the member, are paying it, or they're taking it out of your staff's hide. It's a back and forth. If you spike on them, they're going to spike on you, the Republican opposition. And protecting your staff is basic maintenance of your organization. Neglect the maintenance and the machine breaks down. Armin Budish understood that. Tracy Hurd understood that. Fred Strayhorn understood that. Amelia Sykes understood that. They understood that they stand between the Republican majority and their team. That's what a leader does. Allison did not understand that. Or she didn't care. I named this series The Sexual Assault Allegation, and I'm doing multiple parts, and if you're watching, you might be like, so what? How does this connect? But I'm glad I named it that, because that is what is at the core of this whole thing. That's what everything drives back to. Someone was so upset about the sexual assault allegation that they adopted a pseudonym, Dennis Lake, and started making records requests. The House Chief Administrative Officer was so worked up about it, she retaliated against a young woman who talked about the sexual assault allegation. And I was fired for talking about the sexual assault allegation. That turned my life upside down in about 5 minutes. So what in the cover-up culture is going on here? I'm recording. Part A, part 2, part 2A.1_.